Okay, and welcome to the Thrive part of our lesson on our Google Maps, our Map Skills Google document lesson. First of all, if you've made it this far and you're watching this video, good work on completing the rest of the stuff. You're almost ready to complete this entire lesson and actually get your Thrive grade. We just have a few more steps to go over, so I want to show you a few of those first. This is our objectives page that we went over right at the very beginning, and I just kind of want to go over some of the things that you're going to work on now. So you've completed all the survive objectives, and now we're ready to work on our Thrive stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Google Maps, and we're going to learn how to take a screenshot. We're going to do it twice, actually. And we're going to also learn how to insert a link, which is something we did last year, but we're going to kind of get a rehash into that. So we're going to put a link to a website in our Google document. We're going to put our picture and the link, and we're going to make them look professional, make them look nice so they're evenly spaced, that sort of stuff. Kind of play around with our font again like we learned last lesson with our Google documents. Some of those features that we played around with last time. And then last thing, we're going to post our document to KidBlog. So we have 4 more things to finish. So let's kind of get started with that. First and foremost, I'm going to go here to our Sydney Google Maps here. So I'm looking at this is straight from when I click it from Classroom. It goes straight here, and we have this very zoomed out view. So here's Sydney in this little circle right here. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to scroll this in just enough that you can kind of get. We want to make sure Walmart's down here because remember that's our starting point. And then most of Sydney in there. So you can kind of zoom it in to about kind of that size there. So we can start to see a few of the towns. And this is going to be kind of like our overview map. And now what we're going to do with this is we're going to take a screenshot of this. And a screenshot is basically taking whatever it is that's on your screen at the moment, and you just kind of copy that so it becomes an image. So to do it, it's a really simple process to do actually. There's a button on your keyboard. It's called the print screen button. And now I'm at home doing this video, and I have my laptop, and my laptop's keyboard is going to be a little bit different than your lab's keyboard. So the print screen button should have some letters on it like PRTSC, and I'll put that up in the video so you can see that. Look down at your keyboard now, see if you can't find that. It might be up at the top. Up kind of where like the numbers and things are at. If you can't find this, make sure you ask me in class and I will show you exactly where that's at. But it's a really simple little tool to use. You just have your key, you just push the key one time, and then what it does basically is it just copies what's on your screen right now. And just like when we copy and paste, when we learned how to do that with our last Google Documents lesson, when you do that copying, it seems like it doesn't really do anything. So when you push the button, nothing's going to happen, at least nothing that you can see. But then what we're going to do is I'm going to come back to my document, and I've actually kind of typed up a dummy page right here that has kind of the same kind of stuff. And now I'm going to get this set up so I can put my picture in. Okay, because my picture's already been copied. I've already pushed that print screen button, so I'm ready to put it in my document. Now I want to be careful. When you're working on documents and you want to put a picture in, that picture is going to go wherever your cursor is. And I don't want my picture to go right at the end of my sentence. I want it to kind of come down here. So what I need to do is move that cursor down here. And we know how to do that by just pushing enter. That's how we move our cursor down to the next line. So I'm going to move it down a couple, and I'm going to put it right there. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a little keyboard shortcut. And I could also do it this way. I could also do a right click and a paste, or I could do my keyboard shortcut, which is I hit the control key plus V. Either way is going to get you what you need to do. But if I hit paste, what it's going to do there, you just saw, it's actually pasted my screen and everything that I have on there. So I can see just what I had on my screen. So then this, in essence, is going to be my map. Now there's a fancy way of getting rid of kind of all this extra stuff like our tabs that we have and the taskbar down here, but I don't really want you to worry about that. This is a good enough skill for us to get. We're just going to stop it and do it right there. That's perfect right there. Okay, so I hit print screen with my map in the full size, and then I just came here and I copied it, and that was it. It's really kind of a quick process. Now I can resize this picture very easily. When I click on it, I get the little blue boxes on the corners. I can grab that and kind of drag it in because I don't want it that big. Maybe I kind of want it about that size. And I can do some other stuff with this. If I want to center it, for instance, I can center that using the same thing that we did to center our title. So all these skills that we practiced with that last lesson, you can bring in here, and we can do this with this one too. So what I want you to do, I want you to go ahead and we're gonna pause at this point in time right now, and I want you to go kind of do the steps that I did. You're gonna go find Google Maps, zoom into an appropriate zoom level here, and then we're going to do the print screen, and then I want you to paste this on your document. When you get that part finished, we'll come back and I'll show you how to get to that street view, and we'll actually paste a picture of what your house looks like next. So let's pause, let's catch me up here to where I am at in mine, and then we'll continue on with our Thrive stuff. Okay, so you hopefully had gotten this done. If you needed a little help, maybe you asked for it, maybe you got it all on your own. But we're ready to move on now. We're ready to go on to the next part of our phase here, which is putting a picture of like what our house looks like. So I'm going to, again, remember the cursor is here, so if I paste another picture, it's going to paste it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this down, just a couple, and then I'm going to go back to Google Maps. And when I'm in Google Maps, and I think most of us did this that day that we practiced kind of looking around, we found our house. So when I zoom in, remember we can change to the satellite view, we can find a house, and I'm just going to find some random stranger's house because just for the sake of going quick enough. But here, so I find a house, I can click on a house, and then I can go into the street view. So as I go into street view, oh, look at that, here we are, we're at Pittman Body Shop. That's not where I live, but I'm going to take a screenshot of that just because that just happened to be where I landed. So in the street view, remember you can kind of click and drag and kind of look around to the different places. And then what I'm going to do when I do find my house, I'll just kind of get it and put it centered in here, and then just like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and hit that print screen button and actually copy this screen right here, come back, and then do another right click and I'll paste. And now this time I have what would be my house. Now you'll notice that something just happened right now on mine. So here's my document. I have my one page here. Here's my typing. I've got my one picture, and now this picture is too big. It's shoved it onto a second page, and that's going to be a problem. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it on one. So I'm going to resize this, make it a little bit smaller so this stays on to one page. I really want this to be a one-page document, and I want to keep it that way. So that's pretty good right there. I like that. I like that. It's centered. It's nice and evenly spaced. I have spacing here. It's about the same as the spacing here. So this is the portion of our lesson where you're going to have to kind of go around and kind of play around with the font of your text, the size of your text. Make it so that it stays on one page. Now we have one more thing to add, and I think I have enough room down here, but we're going to go ahead and do that here in just a second. I'm going to have you pause the video again, go find your house in the street view, do another print screen, and paste that picture onto your document. And hey, we're halfway through our Thrive stuff now. We only have 2 more things to go, and they're very easy. So go ahead and pause. Let's get that second screenshot stuck in here, and then we'll move on to the next portion here. Okay. So hopefully you've kind of caught up with me, and one thing I did not mention before, I want you to notice how both of these pictures are basically the same size. That's good. We kind of want that. We want that consistency, so we kind of want both pictures to be about the same size. Now I could go smaller than this if I wanted to. That's perfectly fine. So however you've kind of arranged those is fine. I have kind of a more of a rectangular picture because my screen is a little bit wider. Some of you may have a more of a square, and so you might have a little bit more room to kind of wiggle stuff around and fit it kind of. You might even be able to fit 2 pictures side by side here. Mine are just a little bit too wide to do that. But we're ready to go on to that next part of our Thrive objectives, and that is putting a link to a website on our document. And we're going to do this, and it's going to be kind of a specific link. So first of all, I'm going to take my cursor here, and I'm going to move it down here. I'm going to see how much room I have. Oh, I can. I can put two enters down there. So I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to put this link right here. What we're going to do is we're going to go find the research tool. And this is a super, super handy tool to use on documents. And just like I said, it's a tool. So we're going to find it in the Tools menu. And right there I see Research. So we go Tools, Research. And then I'm going to get this little search box that's going to pop up over here on the side. And what I'm going to do is we're going to look for the City of Sydney website. We want to stick that in here because remember this relative has never been to this town before, so we want to give them some information about the town so they kind of know what they're getting into here. So I'm going to do a search for City of Sydney, and let's see what comes up here. Hopefully it will come up with ours, but remember there are more than one Sydneys in the world. So if I scroll down here a little bit here, look at that. It says, oh, welcome to the City of Sydney, Ohio. That's not what we want. We're going to have to be a little bit more specific, or I can scroll down just a little bit more and I can find here, look at that. There's the Sydney, Nebraska official website. Now I know that there's more Sydneys in the United States than just one, but I know that there's only one Sydney in Nebraska, so that's going to be the one that we want. I can double check this by hitting this little preview button. This will pop up over here. Aha, yep, that's definitely our City of Sydney website. I'll put that in here, and then if you notice down here, there's some little boxes that are down here. Insert link is one of them, so look how quick and easy this is. Boom, there we go. Sydney, Nebraska, and it's a blue highlighted text, and we know that is going to be a link, which goes right there. So if I click that link, it's actually going to take me to the City of Sydney website, which is right there. Look at that. So that's a pretty easy 2 points. I'm going to have to make these Thrive lessons a little tougher. I think these are too easy for you guys. So that's what I want you to do, and that's pretty much right there. That's the end of our document. That's all we really need on our document. So let's go ahead. Let's take another pause here, another little break here. And I want you to go open up your research tool, and I want you to go find the City of Sydney, Nebraska website. Please don't throw the City of Sydney, Ohio website on there. That's the wrong one. So make sure you get the right website, throw that in here on a little link just like that, and then we are ready to go to KidBlog next and post this so other people can actually read it too. So pause it, go do those steps, and we'll come on back and we'll finish this up with one more easy step. Okay, so hey, our document is all finished, right? Hopefully you've gotten all those things done in there, and I do want you to remember one more thing, just as a quick reminder again. I have things separated, they're spaced out nicely, they look good. This picture is the same size as this picture. My link is down here, nothing is kind of offset, nothing is smushed together. It all kind of looks nice. Make sure yours looks nice too. Make sure it's not, you don't have one picture over here and then a picture over here. You know, I want them to be, it needs to be nice, it needs to be balanced, it needs to look good. That's what we're really working on here and focusing on. So make sure yours looks, it could look kind of like mine. If you want to push your pictures over the side, you can push them over the side, but make them sure that they're evenly spaced and it looks nice, it looks good. Now we're going to post this to KidBlog. So I've kind of already got KidBlog all set up over here. You should have a bookmark to get to KidBlog. Your old bookmark will still work. The website says 2nd grade tech integration, but I just changed it. So it is 3rd grade tech integration. We will fix that link, or we'll fix our bookmark probably in our next unit, which is a blogging unit. But right for now, we're just going to use that old one. And when you get yourself logged in, you're going to go ahead and click on a new post. This is kind of a review from last year. You're going to do a post title, which you're just going to say, we can just name it the same thing as our document, or our title of our page, which was Directions to My House. Just like that. And what you're going to hopefully see is you're going to hopefully see this Google Drive button here. If you don't see this, I can't remember if we had that all set up last year or not, but if you don't see this Google Drive, that's going to be where you're going to have to ask me for help in class, and I'll come over and we have a couple of things to do. We just have to link your Google account to your KidBlog, and then we're good to go. But you click on that little button there, And what it's going to do is it's going to ask you to go basically find your document in Google Drive. And so you can kind of do a search. The name of this document is Survive and Thrive. I think it's like Map Skills or something like that. Remember the name of your document. It's right up here. Map Skills Document. That's what it is. Map Skills Document. And it'll have your name on it. Map Skills Google Document with your name on it. So you can actually search for that if you want to. You can say Map. Whoops, there you go. You can see here, Map Skills Document, and I have all the kids here because they are all shared with me, but you should just be able to see yours. And so what you'll do is you'll just kind of click on one. Look at that. I want to put Hannah's on one just as an example. So you'll put one on there, and then your document will be on your post. You can hit publish, and then you're good to go. You're all finished. You've done every single thing that I've asked, and you should easily get your Thrive goal. So if you have any questions when you're doing this, make sure you ask me for it right away, because this is the last day that we'll be working on this assignment. So let's get as much done as we possibly can. And I have talked for far too long. It's time for you to go ahead and finish up your work. And when it is done, you can most definitely go read and look at some other people's Google documents that they have. So leave some comments, good, productive, and positive comments, of course, about how well they did, because they're going to look really cool. So there you go. There you have it. If you had any more questions, make sure you ask me in class.